Hi everybody, Mike Hoffman here with another video recorded for TipSquirrel at www.tipsquirrel.com. Remember, for all kinds of Photoshop and Lightroom goodness, follow at TipSquirrel on Twitter or facebook.com/TipSquirrel. If you've followed TipSquirrel in the past, you've no doubt encountered adjustment layers, and if you've been a faithful follower, you may have even encountered blending modes. And today we're going to see what happens when we combine the two. And in fact, combining blending modes with adjustment layers can create a whole new range of effects that you may not have even thought of in the past. Let's see how it works. We'll start with this landscape image, and we want to give it just a little bit more of a pop. And what we're going to do in this case is we're going to go down to the layer panel, and we're going to choose a new adjustment layer. And in this case, we're going to choose Hue and Saturation. Now, at first, this doesn't have any effect on the photo at all. If we turn it off, we turn it on, there's no effect. But if we start twisting the dials around, we can see a lot of crazy things happening. What I'm going to recommend is that we check the box marked Colorize. And Colorize will add a cast to the image. But before we go any further at this point, and here's the trick, we're going to change the layer's blend mode. We're going to change it from a normal blending mode to something like overlay. And there it looks pretty dramatic, but we're going to fix it up here. What we're going to do is select the color that we'd like to add to the image, and I'm thinking with the sunrise image here that maybe something warm would look good. We'll take the saturation back quite a bit, and then we'll bump up the brightness to bring back some of the details. We can continue to play with this, and you can see as I move the saturation slider back and forth, I can add more or less of the color cast, and by adjusting the hue slider, I control what the color cast is. I can give it a cooler color or a warmer color. And I like it right in there in the oranges. And then again, the lightness will help us dial in the intensity of the effect. And if we look at the before and the after, we can see a nice subtle difference in this image. Let's go on to the next image. And in this case, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use a hue saturation adjustment layer. And again, we're going to click on Colorize. This time, we'll set the mode to soft light. And with soft light selected, again, we can follow the same recipe. We dial our hue in to give the color cast we want. And I'm kind of liking this one right in here because it seems to bring out the green in the grass and some of the details in these tiki heads. But we'll dial back the saturation quite a bit. And lastly, once again, we can tweak the lightness to dial in the intensity of the effect. And since we're dealing with soft light as the blend mode, this hue saturation adjustment layer is really controlling more of the luminosity and the overall color cast of the image. So quite nice. Let's take one more look. In this case, we'll look at this roller coaster image, and we've got some nice blue sky, we've got some red roller coasters, and we've got this housing here with a bit of yellowish color to it. In this case, what we can do is we'll choose the black and white adjustment layer. And with the black and white adjustment layer, you normally will get a grayscale image. However, once again, we're going to change the blend mode. In this case, we'll choose once again the soft light blend mode. And now an interesting thing happens. As we dial our colors around, and notice the black and white adjustment layer gives us a slider for each color, we can dial in each individual color the way we want. Notice the red's changing there. I can bring the sky way down, maybe drag the cyan down. Got quite a bit of control. With the yellow here, I can bring back some of the detail that were lost in here in this stony area. And as you can see, we can just tweak each individual color as we see fit, and we're adjusting the luminosity of these colors based on the blending mode of soft light. So a quick tip for you here, using adjustment layers with blend modes in combination to provide a wider range of effects that you can apply to your images here on Tip Squirrel. My name is Mike Hoffman. My website is hoffmanartdesign.com. You'll find a variety of photography and Photoshop tutorials and related information there. Or you can follow me at mhoffman2001 on Twitter, and you can find me on Google Plus simply by going to gplusmikehoffman.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.